speed! Go!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Time, episode 12 here at 4Player Podcast. My name is Nick Henderson. I am filling in for Joseph Christ, who is absent like a little bitch this week. And I am joined today by, I'm going to introduce you last, person on the right. George Denison, say hello.
Hello.
Joining us from the UK at 4:15 in the morning, right? Am I right?
Right. Yep. Nice and early here.
You are crazy. Also joining us for the first time on Cocktail Time, I believe, Jeff, right? It's your first time?
Yes.
Welcome, Jeff.
Hi,
and
everyone.
Last but not least, Bob is joining us, as always.
Yes.
So when do we get this big reveal? You crazy son of a bitch.
Oh, I gotta get in on this. Oh.
What is that on your face?
This is magnificence, is what it is. Oh. I was getting ready for Mustache Monday, and I found the stash.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That's pretty epic. I still don't know what you. Is there a name for that kind of that whatever you call it, that style, beard style?
Call it a bob. I don't know.
Isn't it the Zangief? Isn't that the Zangief?
Is it the Zangief where he has the side kind of thing going on? I don't know.
So you are eventually going to shave the soul patch, right? And just
have the handlebar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a motorcycle and then right off to the sunset.
It'd be pretty awesome. So that was a good reveal. So we're gonna start off the show the way I guess we normally do it. We're gonna say what all we're drinking, and then we're gonna take a toast, and then we're gonna talk about some video games. So does anybody care to go first? Tell me what you're drinking. George, are you drinking?
I'm drinking. Yep. 4:15 in the morning. I'm drinking something called a Tom Collins.
A what?
It's
Tom Collins. That's a classy.
Tom Collins.
Yeah.
It's gin and lemonade, which were just two things that happen to be in my fridge.
That does sound delightful, actually.
Well, it's like, you have a gin and tonic is just gin and lime and tonic. So I can go see with the gin with the citrus going. It could be pretty tasty.
Jeff, how about you? What are you drinking?
I am drinking Evan Williams with Coke. Oh, can we show Coke products?
I don't know. Are they going to pay us now?
I've never thought about that before.
I know, right?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
It's in a... You're not showing it. You just talked about it.
Yes, it's frosty, but it's just whiskey.
Ooh. That does sound delicious. Bob?
Yeah. So I had to forego...
Wait. I can't let you go before me because I'm terrible, and it's just going to make me look even worse if I go after. So I'm actually doing the opposite today of what I should be doing, which is drinking. I am actually detoxing because I've been drinking far too much, and I have nothing in my fridge. So I'm drinking Nice.
Nice.
It's a bottle of water, and it's called Nice. So yeah, I don't have any. I'm in the process of getting ready to move, and I have nothing in my fridge that includes alcohol or food. So I have bottled water, and that's what I'm going with. But I will have you know that last night I chugged 3 Long Island iced teas. As in, we were bar hopping, and every time I got one, they were like, "Hey, we're going to the next bar," and I was like, "Great." And then I had to
finish it and get another one.
Just fucking put the straw in my mouth and just drink the whole thing in one fell swoop. So I did. I'm still feeling the effects of that one a little bit. So I'm just drinking water right now. So lame as it sounds, Bob, make me look even lamer.
Well, that reminds me that we have a bar down here. It's called the Grad, which used to do a 10 for 1 night, where a 10 for 1, 10 drinks for the price of 1. So if you were smart, you'd go and get 10 Long Islands for the price of 1.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And usually that's a terrible decision about 30, 40 minutes later, but it was the best fucking deal. But they stopped doing that, I think mostly because they didn't want people to die.
Yeah,
So-
They're
Yeah, I know it turned into like
10 drinks for the price of one, and then y'all can drive home from the bar. By all
Yeah.
means.
So, oh god, this is. I'm not doing a shot tonight because I've got something that's
Even
just
better.
as bad. And I've never actually seen a bottle of this, but I went down to one of our liquor stores, and I ended up finding a bottle of green apple Cisco.
Whoa. Okay.
I've never actually had Cisco, and I know it's fucking terrible. And
Doing.
it's
Does it have
a bad idea.
Does it have
Huh?
mayonnaise in it, Bob?
No mayonnaise, luckily.
Well, then it's not that bad.
No, I don't know. I'm not gonna be finishing this thing, but
You are.
I looked at it was between green apple and strawberry, and I was trying to figure out, well, what's gonna be worse. I was like, well, I don't really like green apple too much, so I'll just go with green apple. But when I looked at the bottle on the strawberry, it said it was 13% alcohol.
Yeah.
On the green apple, it's 18% alcohol. I have no fucking idea why. And underneath it has in like bright or big. You probably can't even read that. I can switch us to.
It's very blurry.
Yeah, it says this is not a wine cooler in all caps. Like someone would mistake this for being a wine cooler. It's like a $4 or $5 wine cooler. Just oh god. It's grape wine and citrus spirits with natural flavors and artificial colors. FDC yellow number 5. That's yellow?
I
The
guess.
fuck? Yeah, no, there was nobody really buys these things. There was there's 8 servings in here, so I'll be sure not to have more than one. But oh god, I think it's even carbonated too. This is awesome. But these bottles had dust on them. They were in the fridge and they had dust. Just goes to show you like how many people actually buy this shit.
This was actually. Oh my god, it's green.
It's green.
Oh my! I thought that was just the coloring of the bottle.
Oh no, it's actually green.
Oh, that looks disgusting.
Ugh. I just got a little taste of it. I'll do a big chug of it before we do our toast. But so far, not so good.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna be regretting this tomorrow.
With that said, are we ready to give our toasts?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. We'll start at the other end. George, what are you toasting to this week?
I'm toasting to Telltale Games because this weekend I've played both the Walking Dead episodes and they're really, really, really good. So I'm toasting them.
Completely agree with you on that one. I would drink to that. Jeff, how about you, sir?
I have a toast. Let's say a toast to my own feed.
Yeah.
There we go.
A toast because I'm starting to get together equipment and stuff for the site to jump up on the feed, and I did some testing, and I didn't play much this week, so I don't really care to toast to games. But a toast to 4playerpodcast.com's feed, 4pp.tv/live.
Beautiful. That was a nice plug there too. I will toast to. I was going to toast to Penny Arcade Expo because that's coming up this month, and I am excited. But now I kind of want to toast to Bob's beard. So I'm going to toast to Bob's beard.
All right. Well, then I'm going to toast to PAX.
That's cheap.
Okay. That's cheating, Bob.
Okay, well, I'm gonna toast to. I guess I have a vacation coming up, a long vacation, and this is the first vacation I've had this long in maybe like more than a year or two. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna be able to actually have 2 weeks off of work.
Cool. Well, we're gonna toast to Bob's vacation then too.
And the
All
beer.
right.
Don't forget about the beer.
Fellas, enjoy your Cisco, Bob.
Smells like gasoline.
Oh God, that water is so harsh. Burns going down. I'm just kidding. Okay, we ready? Ready to talk about
Dude,
the
I'm
game?
feeling it.
How is it, Bob?
It doesn't taste like apple.
Give us the play-by-play. What does green apple Cisco taste like?
It's really sweet. I wasn't kind of expecting that. It's very cloyingly sweet. It's slightly carbonated. I'm not too sure if it's supposed to be that. It might be that it was sitting in the store for so long that it actually carbonated. It's got a nice
Aroma?
like petrol aroma.
Oh.
It's reminiscent of a gas station bathroom. And the finish. Let's see. Oh,
Oh, god damn. I don't.
wow. So the finish is like you're squeezing the drips out of a bar rag.
No. Okay. That's lovely. Well, are you gonna keep drinking it? You gonna sip that?
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm like that's the horrible thing about this thing.
That's why I love you, Bob. Because every week you torture yourself
Ugh.
for the sake of this show,
Yeah.
so the rest of us don't have to. I'm gonna enjoy my water this week. So
Chris actually suggested that Tara has a taste of this.
Yeah, that's a good
Let's see,
idea.
Tara, you want to partake in the?
I want to see Tara take.
Tara, you want
to? Here we go.
Let's.
And then I want her to describe the taste of it in one word.
Taste of it in one word, Tara. Take a sip, and then taste in one word.
Yeah.
Vile.
Yeah. Vile.
It's green.
It is green. It does look vile. That's for damn sure.
Suckers.
The suckers, the dum-dums, yeah.
Sort of like a dum-dum, only one that's got like infected or something.
An infected dum-dum. Okay.
That's horrible.
That's great. Before we continue, though, I do want to say, since this is cocktail time and Joseph is not here, and honestly, cocktail time is not only identified by the fact that we're drinking on the show, but I believe Joseph's unique sense of humor and vulgarity brings a lot to the show, and I don't know if I could, recreate that without a little assistance. So I actually have a list here on my tablet. I pulled it up of the 100 most vulgar slang words, and I will just be reading them off at random points throughout the show, probably cutting you off at some point. I'm just going to go down the list, starting with felch.
Filch.
So, and they each have an offensiveness rating, like a percentage. The word felch is 84% offensive.
What's the definition for it?
I don't even know if you can. Let's see if I can. Please tell me you can click on these and get it. Oh, yep, here we go. What does felch mean? This is going to be fun. To lick or... I don't want to say this.
You dug your own hole. You volunteered to do this. This was not on our plan. We didn't know about this shit.
It gives the definition and then it uses it in a sentence. To lick or suck the semen from the anus of another person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He felches his girlfriend after anal sex. That is used in a sentence. So that is the top word on this list. And I'm just going to go down it at random points, and I'll read one off every couple minutes.
And quite honestly, that's the word that Tara should have used for the Cisco.
What does Cisco taste like? Oh, felch. So, Yep. So I'm going to do that because that'll make it feel a little bit more like cocktail time, I think. And it's just funny. So who would like to go first with what they've been playing? Taking volunteers. Who are you pointing at, Jeff? I think he's pointing at George.
The skeleton. I was pointing at him.
The skeleton.
I fucked up on the angle with the camera.
Yeah, you did fuck up with the angle. George?
Yeah, I'll go first. I've got a lot of new games I've been playing this week, so...
Fantastic.
Where should I start? I played I played all of Deadlight this week.
That didn't take long, I assume.
Me and Jeff tried to do a audible impressions on that. And the funny thing was, on that audible impressions, I went off on a massive rant about how I'm sick of zombie games, basically. And I still stand by that, but I said that I'm sick of zombie games that have the word dead in the title.
Yeah.
And then, Dead Space, House of the Dead, Dead Rising,
Left 4 Dead,
Dead Island, Left 4 Dead,
Oh,
and so naturally the next morning I pick up The Walking Dead, both episodes, and it turns out to be one of my games of the year. So there you go. That's hypocrisy for you.
That's called karma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So tell us about The Walking Dead. I've played through both episodes. I think most of us have at this point. Played through all the episodes.
No. I still haven't gone through episode 2.
Wait, you played the first episode though, right?
I played the first episode, yes.
Okay, so cool. You're at least up to that point. So
yeah.
So tell us what you think of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's kind of old school adventure style gameplay in a way, but with zombies.
Do you watch the show at all by chance? The television show?
Oh, no, and I haven't seen the comic either. So.
Oh, so it's like your only foray.
Yes, it's all completely new to me. Yeah, and it gave me that same feeling that I got when I was playing Mass Effect 2, where even if the gameplay wasn't like 100% watertight, the characters were so sort of well drawn that it kept me going through it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, that whole franchise is kind of hinged upon the quality of its characters more so than the action of the zombies and all that great stuff. So that's probably part of the reason why this zombie game doesn't necessarily feel like a traditional zombie game, because it's not really about the zombies, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the zombies are just kind of in the background. It's more about the characters, which is really good.
Yeah, I just started reading the comic as well, so it's very similar. It's more character driven than just look, zombies killing people, eating friends.
And I highly recommend watching the TV show if you haven't, because the TV show is also very character driven.
Do you know if it's the same as the comic? If it's based on the comic?
It's loosely based on the comic. It follows I think one of the comics takes place on this farm for like one chapter. Like, I don't know if it's like for one chapter or one issue of the comic, but the entire second season of the show takes place in this one location.
Okay.
So, it's loosely based. You'll see a lot of characters that you'll recognize from the comic book, but they kind of veer off on their own path, and they don't cover it word for word in the show. But it's definitely very character driven, and the drama is like it's essentially a drama with zombies in it. Like, nobody really gives a shit about the zombies outside of the fact that they're just kind of the tool that or the I don't know, the cog that's moving along this drama throughout the show. Like, all the crazy shit that's going on is basically just there to further these people's fucked up lives, and you get to kind of witness this, which is cool. But
I just realized when I tried to
the second episode, because the second episode is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I just was realizing when I do this with my beard, it kind of looks like a bat.
A bat?
Or like, oh no, it looks like the Spider-Man symbol, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
The new one. I have to get my eyebrows down so I can just. No.
God damn you, Bob.
It's the Cisco. Sorry, it's already working on my system. Oh fuck!
Fucking working.
I'm gonna go outside and shank someone.
What is the alcohol content in Cisco?
18%.
18%. Okay, that'll do.
That should fuck you up.
So wait, George, did you go all the way through the second episode? You played through both of them?
Yeah. I picked up the first one and did it in sort of 2 goes, and then I finished it and I thought, oh, that was really good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as that. So then I picked up the second episode, and as you say, it gets really crazy. And I picked up the second episode right after I finished the first episode, thinking, oh, I'll just play the first sort of 10 minutes just to sort of get it going, and then go later, and then did it all in like an hour and a half chunk, because it was so gripping. And at the end, I was like, "Where's the third episode?" It's not out yet. So
This is obviously one of Telltale's most successful. I think one of the most successful projects they've worked on, to the point where they said they talked about their intent to not only finish this first season, which I think is a total of 5 chapters or 5 episodes, but they're actually they're talking about continuing it with the second season, which is kind of weird to think about because they're doing this episodic gameplay style, which is working really well for them. But now it's to the point where it's starting to actually emulate like a television show, and we're going to get a second season entirely, which is, I don't know, that in and of itself is cool. I'm really curious to see if like your decisions from the first season will carry over to the second season, or if they're going to just put new characters or what have you.
That's slightly. Oh man, this reminds me of a game that Treon is making in conjunction with Sci-Fi. You don't know Treon, do you? Treon.
You're talking about Rift?
Yes. The developers of the Rift MMO are making a sci-fi based MMO in conjunction with the Sci-Fi Channel, and the Sci-Fi Channel is making a TV show that's based on the same world and universes and characters. And
oh my god, it's gonna be great.
What roles the players play in the MMO transfers over to the television show. At least that was the idea they outlined like 2 years ago. I don't even know if they're still fucking doing it.
Will there be a Sharktopus?
A Sharktopus. There possibly may be a Sharktopus. Okay. Except we call it a Sharktopus if you're old. Oh, nobody's gonna get that. They were here for the pre-show thing.
Nope.
All right, so, but if you start having more like episodic content, because you basically have 3 timelines now. You have the Walking Dead comic book, you have the Walking Dead TV show, and you have the Walking Dead video game. The one that's not the other one they're making, the Telltale one. And if there was some sort of communication between or participation between the developers and the producers of the show, there may be, we may see something like in the future, if this is really successful for Telltale, that they'll develop them side by side. So people will be playing, episodes of the game maybe before the TV show comes out, and then basically based on whatever people are doing or socially, the aggregate of people's decisions in the game affects what actually happens in the show.
I mean, that would be cool. The problem there is they've already moved. They've divulged.
They wouldn't happen for this one. No. By all means, they're all completely divergent.
But the universe they've kind of established in this version of The Walking Dead seems to me like it's obviously not meant to be the same universe as the television show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've already run into characters from the television show that are clearly depicted very differently in the show versus the way they're depicted in the game.
Right. I was just saying that if the model proves to be really successful, where the episodic content and having seasons and where it's kind of emulating a show, they may actually try to do it for a different franchise and
that would
do
be really
something
cool.
where it's more like episodic gaming content alongside episodic TV show content.
I mean, one thing Telltale's nailed this formula. They've faltered in the past. Like, look, a lot of people were kind of bummed out about Jurassic Park, but I think they learned a lot from that one experience, and so much of what they learned from that has kind of gone into making The Walking Dead an actual really great experience. That I don't think we're gonna. I can't see them butchering any other IP that they work on in the future. So it would actually be really cool to watch them try and develop a game side by side with a television show. I don't know what they would do it with. You never know. If Lost was still on, they could do a Lost video game.
Love Lost.
Fuck yes.
Or,
the video game was awful.
Battlestar Galactica or something like that would be really good. Man, that was a good show.
That show's
just ended weird. But
can I say that all that stuff aside, I think the most important thing about the Telltale Walking Dead game is that episodic structure works. I want to buy all my fucking video games that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me invest $25 today to try the first quarter of the game. And if it's good enough, I'll buy the rest of it instead of being in a position where I have to buy a $60 game and then not even fucking finish it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's
$60.
Like the prospect of being able to do that does sound really intriguing, but I'm also kind of bummed that I have to wait like a month to play the next 2 or 3 hours of the game.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm chomping at the bit to play the third episode.
Yeah. And Adge
play it.
Damborg and Brog in chat just brought up Half-Life 2.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Episode
Yeah,
3?
I don't think Valve ever intended on like finishing. Think about that. Think about it. Let's go on for a quick second.
Let's
Think
go.
about it. Valve wants this episode to linger on forever. You know what I mean? They'll always keep their name. They'll always have those rabid fans that need that game. You know what I mean? And like that's to their advantage because people don't hate them because they want that. They want it, and they make it this thing that keeps the fans always on their toes anytime Valve is doing something and releases something or something gets leaked. So I think that's to their benefit.
Yeah, but
Masses are going to
I
rise
would
up and riot at some point if they don't make that game though.
I would say though, Nick, that like even though they do slip, like they could get better at making sure that games do get released on schedule. Because I know Telltale, they, you know, what I mean, you see one this month, you see one 2 months later, maybe three. You know, it's
They
tough
were
with them.
aiming to release one once every month, but that
Right,
even the second episode they faltered
yeah,
and they
the
missed
two
it by a couple
months.
weeks.
Right, but I think to their benefit again, it's that thing where like we're not going to deny the game because it's late. It just adds that intent, you know, that tension to I really want to play this. You know what
It's
I mean?
it is kind of cool though when you think about it because the way like the traditional retail model of the way we consume games now is that we hear about a game like a year before it comes out, we build up anticipation, it comes out, and then we blow our load and it's over and we're just like, okay, that was kind of anticlimactic. But when you think about it, they're taking that formula, flipping it on its head by like building hype through the game as you're playing it. Like you play like 2 hours of the game, you fucking love it, and they're like, all right, now you have to wait another month or another 2 months, and then it's just like, oh shit, and it builds more anticipation. And by the time you hit that fifth chapter, it's like your anticipation is like is about to peak, and that's pretty cool.
Right.
Um, I've always been pretty vocal about I don't really want all video games to be downloadable, but I think Telltale is one of the companies that's making the strongest argument or making the biggest strides towards that goal in such a way that I will be more accepting of it. Like if this is the only like download or episodic format I've ever seen that has really knocked it out of the park and blown it away for me. So
It's definitely the only one that people have been talking about.
yes, that is true. That is
A
also true.
lot of people have been talking about it.
Other companies have tried. Not everybody has succeeded.
Oh no, yeah. I guess the only other one I can think of that people were really hyped about, and I think it may be because it was one of the predecessors for this, was the Sin franchise. Do you remember that?
Wait, what franchise?
Sin?
I can't recall that one.
Okay. This is back when Half-Life 2 started doing episodic content. Anybody remember this? The Sin games?
Wait, did you say when
No.
Half-Life 2 started doing episodic content?
Yeah. Yeah. What? That was like back in 2006, 2007. What?
I wouldn't even call what Valve does with Half-Life.
Yeah, Sin episodes. People, I'm not crazy. It's not that Cisco talking.
Putting the word episode in the title of a game does not make it episodic. In my opinion, at least. I don't know. Especially Half-Life, because those could have been standalone experiences when you think about it. Like Half-Life Episode 1 and Episode 2 were both like 4 or 5 hours long, which is longer
No,
than
they're pretty damn long. Yeah.
so.
Like I remember the second episode for Half-Life 2 was pretty fucking intense.
Yes.
Yes,
first one.
second episode's brilliant.
Yes. And
which one has the rocket? Is that the first one?
Second one.
Second one, yeah, that's what I thought.
The Strider bands were
Yes.
brilliant. I love that.
The conclusion of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Let's just say if they don't follow that up with something, I don't care what it is at this point. If they don't tell you what happens, I'm gonna
Well, I basically heard that from someone from Valve that they're working on Episode 3. or 3. So whatever that means.
Wait, what? Can we get a confirmation from that?
3. 3. 3. They're working on 3.
I'm sorry, I can't. Okay.
I don't know. It could be episode 3. It could be Half-Life 3. This was before they were even working on Portal. They were. This is before they were released Portal 2.
Yeah.
So they were working on something 3.
Something 3.
Something 3. This was after they announced Dota 2. Like everything, it was like something 3. I wonder what that is.
Could be Left 4 Dead 3.
No, I think this was right after Left 4 Dead 2 just launched.
So could be Left 4 Dead 3.
I guess so, yeah, could
be. Yeah, that typically happens. They'll launch, or companies will launch a game and they'll be like, all right, start the next one.
Oh, this was someone internal. So.
Well, that gives me hope.
It's just a rumor. I mean, you these types of projects, yeah, internally they could be like, yeah, we're gonna start manning people to start working on this project, and then they'll start ramping up on this project, and then it'll go a direction they're not comfortable with, and then they'll shut it down internally, and they'll make no announcements at all. And that's just, yeah, a Blumpkin is getting
the next word on my list.
And I can define this one for you.
You better make it as good as the written definition I have here, because
at least I think it is. So
the written definition I have here is worded pretty specifically.
All right. So a man gets onto a toilet and takes a wicked shit, and as he is pooping, a girl is giving him a head. That's a Blumpkin.
Yeah, that's a Blumpkin. I mean, the way it's worded here is as received while the receiver is defecating.
Yes, yeah. So that's another word that Tara could use for describing Cisco.
And the sentence that it was used in. At the fetish club, Bill was certain he could get a Blumpkin. All right, I just wanted to drop that in there.
Why'd you get a candle? Did you fart?
Wait, me?
No. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette in my studio, even though I'm not supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit. It's like a real bar in here now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, fucking right.
So, we talked about The Walking Dead.
Blumpkins.
We have talked about Blumpkins as well. I finished The Witcher 2 yesterday, which I don't want to spend much time talking about because we've talked about this game at great lengths. Has anybody else here played The Witcher 2?
Nope.
Nobody?
Nope.
Oh,
George?
Yes.
Some of it.
Did you finish it?
No, God, no.
Jeff, did you finish
it? I'm right behind you. I just started chapter 2.
Gotcha. Oh, so I
broke my play sessions, and speaking of Walking Dead, I broke them into like chapters. So I played the first section, and then I stopped playing it for a while because the game was so like intensive on like gameplay hours. So I put it aside, but it's tough to go back to when you haven't played it for a long time.
Yeah, RPGs are.
Yeah, it's very tough to go back to, which is why as soon as I started, I was like, I gotta wrap this up because if I stop again, I am not gonna finish. But that game finishes on what I would describe as a pretty great note. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's one of those games where as you get towards the end, they just put you in these, like really fluid scenarios in the story in which you have to make a really split-second decision, and they're decisions that aren't really like anything else that I've had to decide on at any point prior in the game, which is weird. Like, of course, I've made decisions about what to say to people during conversations. That's kind of pretty standard fare for an RPG. But then all of a sudden, I get to the very end of the game, and I'm going through all these story sequences, and all of a sudden, it's like, do this or do this, and like the options pop up on the screen, and I'm like, I have to decide, like, what? Okay, and it does it like 3 or 4 times, which is really cool, and you could definitely see how the story would split into 3 or 4 very different paths, which I totally didn't see coming. But yeah, I mean, I talked about the game on last week's show, so if you want to hear specifically about the game, I'd listen to that. But as far as RPGs go and ports go, this is one of the best I've played in a long time. Like the RPG, like as an RPG, the game stands on its own 2 feet. It's very It's a very solid game. Story is very mature. The mechanics are super satisfying, and as a port, it's super polished.
Okay.
To
So if I have to go back to one of two fantasy RPGs, do I go back to The Witcher 2 or Dark Souls?
Oh.
Let's just say I don't have time for both. Which one do I go for?
Fuck you.
You make time. That's the
correct
choice.
Yes.
Not enough time. There's not enough time.
No, we had this exact same scenario kind of come up on the show last week about comparing The Witcher to Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and it's really hard to make that comparison because they're both in the way that they force the player to approach combat in similar ways, and that you can't just kind of button mash. You really do have to kind of think before you strike and stuff like that. But Dark Souls takes it to such a more intense level, especially because of the way that you have to go back and seek out your body and to get your stuff back, and you could potentially lose everything in that game. So I think it just kind of depends on how I'm not super familiar with what kind of a game player you are, George. But if you're looking for a challenge, and you really want to be if you want it to be super intensive, I would stick with Dark Souls, because The Witcher 2 is you can always just reload a save and continue from your last save point. But Dark Souls is a very different animal.
I really tried to get into Dark Souls, but it got to a point pretty early in the game where I just got so fed up with it, and I thought, this is not fun. I'm not getting anything out of it. I gave up. But then, after I gave up on it, I had loads and loads of people telling me, saying, no, go back to it. If you persevere, it will be really rewarding. I couldn't see that at the time, but I would be prepared to go back and give it another try at some point.
Yeah, I think with Dark Souls.
Dark Souls?
Huh?
Dark Souls, yeah.
Sorry, Bob, what did you say?
I was just saying with Dark Souls, if you're having a hard time and you want to get back into it, and you're having a really hard time and it's just way too difficult for you, look up a character build. Find someone.
Okay.
Yeah, go look up a character build. They'll tell you basically how many points you want to put into what stats, which weapons you want to be using, how you want to invest in them, how do you want to level up the weapons, and you want something that's going to be more like a PvE build instead of a PvP build. And that's going to make your gameplay, not only is it going to be like, you're going to be doing more damage to enemies, and you're not going to have to rely on, like, stabbing a fucking skeleton for, like, a minute just to kill it. It's going to take more of the skill out of your hands. Like, you still need to be skillful in combat, but for not as long. So you don't, because the longer you're in combat, the more chance you're going to make a mistake. So if you have a build that allows you to do a little more damage, or is geared specifically to PvE, and they tell you like, oh, you want to have pyromancy because anybody can use pyromancy. All you need to do is just level up the pyromancy hand, and they can do a ton of fucking damage, especially early on. That's like a big key thing, as well as you want to use a divine weapon in case you go in the catacombs, because divine weapons and I believe certain other spells allow you to permanently kill skeletons. Otherwise, they will continue to reassemble. So there's like several key things you want to know with like your character build, and if you don't know these things going in, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun for the people that love the exploration and kind of figuring out the game. But if you're in it to just play the game, enjoy the environments, enjoy the enemy design, enjoy the story, then it's very daunting, because there's a lot of these underlying mechanics that are just like not explained well at all. That you have to basically, it's trial and error is basically a lot of the game is. But if you're able to like get a character build and you feel like, oh, I can actually fight these guys, I can actually do damage to them and kill them quick enough that I'm not going to make a stupid mistake, roll off a cliff, or block when I don't have enough stamina and then get knocked down, like that kind of stuff. If you have the right build, that can just solve all of those problems.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of that game anyway, though?
Not like really. It's still really fucking hard. Like if you have a build, you still don't know the areas. It just makes it a little easier on you. You don't know the boss fights. You don't know where all the equipment is. Like you don't know any of that. If you just know like I need to invest into these stats and get this weapon, I'm good.
I'm still playing through Demon Souls, and my experience, I've been taking a lot of advice from Bob and from people in chat as they're watching me play. And I'm doing it specifically to ensure that I enjoy the game. Because if I was just going in blind, I know the kind of game player I am, I would probably quit in frustration pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But having people there to recommend, what items to use and what points to or where to put my points and stuff like that has been kind of a godsend, and it's one of the reasons why I'm actually really enjoying that game intensely.
Yeah, with me playing Demon Souls, I played through Demon Souls with a Dex build, which was really powerful. And then I started that in Dark Souls. I was like, you know what? A Dex build was great. It was just high agility. I jump around, I can stab things and kill them real quick. If I use the right weapons, if I use a polearm or if I use a bow, I can just kill things like crazy. I got stuck. I couldn't progress unless I spent hours grinding one boss in order to be able to just barely kill it.
Yeah.
And then I would move on to the harder part of the game. I got to a point where I actually couldn't move on forward in the game, so I replayed through everything, and that was like 40 or 50 hours in.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had to restart.
Your question, George, is play The Witcher 2.
Thank you.
Well, I'm a bit crazy about that, but I was able to, arguably, like, the second time through, I got through everything within, like, if those full 48 hours, I got through that in, like, 6. Because I wasn't exploring as much.
Yeah. Skullfuck.
That is assuming he played through Dragon's Dogma, right?
I didn't play Dragon's Dogma.
I was talking about George.
Fuck you, Bob.
Oh, no, I haven't played Dragon's Dogma.
Neither of us have. Yeah.
Oh my god! So that adds a whole new game to that trio.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Dragon's Dogma, dude.
I've got an unopened copy in my living room right now.
Shut up! I'm gonna skullfuck you.
On what system?
I picked it up like a month ago or something.
PS3.
It's a 360.
Oh.
Everybody's on 360.
Not me.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
Noun, verb, or verb transitive?
Oh, for a word?
Yes. There's 3 different definitions for skullfuck.
Oh, skullfuck, is that the word? I thought you were gonna. I thought that was a threat.
No.
Okay.
No, that's the next word. Skullfuck.
Oh, skullfuck, man. So you can skullfuck someone, and the act of skullfucking is a verb. I mean, we can Jeffrey here demonstrate. We actually have a skull.
Yes.
Oh. And there's the.
Is this okay for Twitch? Is this okay for Twitch?
As long as you don't whip your dick out.
Okay.
Oh no.
There we go. We had a visual definition of the word skullfuck as a verb.
All right, so I'm gonna read. Okay, so
Liked it.
no, as a verb.
He's smiling.
They differentiate between verb and the verb transitive. Verb is just to savagely assault a person, and to use it in a sentence, man, you better get out of my face and take a big step back because I'm about to get up and skullfuck your ass.
I've always heard it as like, I'm going to put my dick in your eye socket.
No, just wait.
Okay.
The verb transitive has 3 different definitions. To have penetrative sexual intercourse with a person's eye socket. I hate my boss. I'd skullfuck his dead corpse if I had the chance. That's the sentence.
Yep.
Or to forcefully sexually penetrate a person's mouth.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
And the last one is to forcefully sexually penetrate any part of an animal's skull. What?
Why specifically an animal?
I don't know.
Is this like a big thing in the bestiality sphere of the
Skullfucking must be rather common.
I guess it's like necrophilia bestiality.
Skullfuck is a noun, an instance of skullfucking. To be used in a sentence is I had me a nice skullfuck last night. I'm not really sure that's a noun. I think they got that wrong.
Yeah, well, it's a skullfuck.
I guess you're right.
I had a skullfuck. It's like the same. It's the same tone of voice you'd use. I had a nice scone last night.
Yes. Dark Souls will skullfuck you.
In transitive verb way.
I think. So, let's move on. Bob, what have you been playing?
Games.
Games?
Yes, video games.
I had these grand plans today because I finished The Witcher 2 yesterday, and I was going to play Binary Domain and Halo Anniversary today. Fucking none of it happened.
God, let's see. So, it's been a while since I've been on a Cocktail Time, at least 2 weeks. So, I I guess the weirdest thing I've played is a game I picked up off of Steam for like $2. It was a daily sale, and it's called The Void.
The Void.
The Void. And this is a game that my brother refers to as the porn game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird. It's really weird. But like the thing is like they really don't show much other than like, like tits and slits. Like there's really no
tits.
I mean, other than that, it's weird. It's weird. So the premise of this game is Jeff is just losing.
Jeff's losing. He said slits. Oh my God.
So the premise of this game is that you're a soul that's trapped in the void, and in order to survive in the void, you need to have color in your soul. So you wander around these environments, finding color. You need to absorb color, and you can use color by either putting it into your soul or by putting it into other objects. And it's kind of like this resource management where there's these. It's a bunch of. It's like if you had a graph. Guys, you don't know that. This is a computer science term. It's like if you had a map that had a bunch of like points on it, and they were connected, and they would branched off. So you have like a hub point, and you have spokes coming off of it, and at each point of the end of the spoke is a world. And the hubs, at each hub is a sister. That's a world for a sister, which is a being in the world that lives off of color. And
Where does the porn come in, Bob? That's what I want to know.
That's where the sisters are.
I was thinking that.
So I'm getting to it. So the sisters are the point of the game is that you're supposed to be you are supposed to be a brother, is what they call it. You're male in this game, and a brother is a being that can actually take color and then imbue other things with it, and imbue themselves with it. As you travel between these spokes on these wheels in these different worlds, you lose color by being out in this void, in the void. And in a world, you don't lose color, but if you don't have enough color in your body at a certain point, and you're trying to move through these worlds, you'll die. But when you get to the sister nodes, they're these women, these computer-generated women.
Tell me about the women.
Yeah, that they have different stories and kind of quests and points around them. They want you to clear out their spokes. That sounds terrible.
Wait.
There's combat in this game.
Clear out their spokes.
Yeah. There's combat in this game. It's fucking weird. But the point is God, I could probably actually show the trailer for this on YouTube. I can set up a Twitch to actually show this. But the sisters also, they need color to survive. So what you do is you give them this is horrible. This sounds like you ejaculate your color onto them, and they dance for you.
Wait.
You haven't just made this game up, have you?
No, I haven't. This is the best part. I didn't even think about it this way, but that's basically what you do. Is you put your color into them, and then they do a little dance. An erotic dance.
Is it supposed to be ejaculated onto them? Is that... Or is it
I
just
don't
maybe.
That?
Maybe.
I don't believe this game exists.
It does.
I think Bob's making this up as he goes.
Man, I don't know if the thing is, I'm afraid to cast this because there's, as I said, it's just tits and slits, so it's probably not that bad. Because Twitch TV's policy is that as long as it's in the game and it's just showing I guess tits and slits is somewhere in that terms of services for censorship, but it's I don't know. I'm very hesitant to broadcast it because most of it is just completely there's no sexuality in it at all. You're just wandering around like a disembodied guy picking up color, and then you can farm color. There's gardens where you can put color into plants and then they'll sprout and make color for you over time because there's a whole time cycle thing. But then you get these parts where you put color into women and they dance for you. That's weird.
Awkward. That's really awkward. This is called The Void.
It's called The Void. It was I think it was $2 or $2.50 on Steam 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's weird. If people in chat watch the video, just watch the trailer for this. It is, and you can see parts where you see the women undulating and dancing and laying back on these trees and their tits are just hanging out. That's where you give them color.
Oh my god.
It's weird. It's fucking weird. I played it probably about 2 hours of this. Tara didn't see it. I was playing it on like some other day. I don't know.
You locked.
I had the fucking office door closed. Sorry, I'm playing the game. Put color in.
That's fucked up, Bob.
No.
I just want you to know that.
It's an interesting game because there's a lot of unique mechanics to it. Like it's almost like a
Yeah.
it's
That's
interesting. And there's mechanics.
Unique, yeah.
Unique.
That's one way.
No, it's like the whole like naked women part is maybe about like 5% of the game.
Oh.
Like it's like The Witcher. I mean, you see more tits in The Witcher.
I was just thinking that how many mainstream games have full frontal nudity? I can think of The Witcher and GTA 4 Ballad of Gay Tony.
God of
I don't
War.
know.
God of War.
God of War, yeah.
Daggerfall did.
Heavy
Several
Rain?
pieces of games did. Heavy Rain did too.
Yeah.
Wait, what did?
Heavy Rain.
Oh, yeah, Heavy Rain.
Oh, Indigo Prophecy or
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
Yep, same one.
So pretty much. Wait. Does this mean we're guaranteed to see Ellen Page's boobs in Beyond?
I think so. I would bet on it.
Bust out that lube now. Anticipation.
Holy shit!
Is Ellen Page the chick from Requiem of a Dream?
No.
No, she's from Juno, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ellen Page is from Juno. She's also.
Inception as well.
Why did I think she was the ass-to-ass chick?
No. That's God, what's that girl's name?
She's great. Whatever her name is.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Remember, ass to ass.
Yes. Yes, I remember that scene. Oh my god. No, but that is not Ellen Page is not the ass to ass girl. Ellen Page is the star of Juno, and she was in Inception. She was the girl in Inception, and she also looks remarkably a lot like the star of The Last of Us, even though they're claiming that she's not.
Right.
I thought, or did they come out and say that she actually is working on The Last of Us? I can't remember. But yeah, let's just say I'll be playing Beyond. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Me too.
Yes. Bob, do we in order to I don't know when y'all usually take breaks on these things.
About now.
About now?
About now.
We good? Should we go ahead and cut it and take a quick break?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the intro music, I guess. I don't have any. Like Joseph has all this stuff. Joseph is on a bus with a bunch of other vagrants, and I don't have a lost shirt set up, so we're gonna go cut. We're not gonna cut away. Well, we're gonna cut away from us. We're not gonna cut the feed, but we're gonna go to a quick break.
Wait, before we cut to a quick break, is it too late?
Nope.
All right. Beef curtain.
Oh God, I've heard of meat curtains, but I think I know the gist of beef curtain.
Beef curtain. Noun.
Should I have an example for this one?
Do you have some beef curtains hiding in there somewhere? You wanna show the feed? Oh
No,
God.
just kidding.
No.
Trust me, for the definition, you can't show this. Large outer labia. Large vaginal lips. Usually used in the plural. Mary, I bet. Oh God. I can't even read this.
Read it.
Mary, I bet when you're in the shower with the window open, your beef curtains flap around in the wind. What the fuck?
Joseph would have done a better one. He would have said, "Did you open a window because your beef curtains are flapping in the wind?"
I didn't write it. I'm just reading it.
Oh God.
I'm just reading it.
Ugh.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about more video games, and I'll read some more offensive words, definitions. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
I'm gonna rape chat.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
Just taking off his clothes.
Magic Mike.
It's Magic Mike up in this bitch. Wait, are we back?
Hey, we're back, yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktail Time here at 4Player Podcast. We're just going to kind of keep rolling with what we're doing, which is talking about video games and reading offensive words. So, who has not gone yet? I talked about The Witcher, so that's pretty much all I've been playing lately.
I played... Well, Jeff hasn't gone, have you?
Jeff, what have you been playing?
Bob went?
What?
Yeah.
I have other things I played. But, Jeff.
So do I.
Jeff?
I'm playing Risen 2.
That's the pirate one, right?
Yeah, George talked about Deadlight, and I played that, and I wrote the review for it. So I'm going to pass right past that. But Risen 2, yeah, it's a janky fucking Deep Silver RPG with pirates.
Who would have thunk a janky Deep Silver game?
It's, you know what, like, it's kind of refreshing, like, the whole setting, the aesthetics are refreshing. Like, I'm down with pirates, and it's something that you rarely see, you know what I mean? So I think that's the only thing, though, keeping me playing the game is really...
It's rarely seen, which is true, but it's also something I would like to see done well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree with you totally. It's really cool. Like, there's a lot of cool shit. It's just it's a slow start, and it's going nowhere, and I'm running around, and like it's just not very fun right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to trudge through it. I typically give my games 8 hours. Even RPGs, like I'll give it 8 hours. If it doesn't grab me by 8 hours, then I quit. Fuck it, I don't care.
If it doesn't grab me by 8 hours, then I just wasted 8 hours of my life.
So you probably didn't like Final Fantasy 13. Because I heard it takes at least 20.
I finished Final Fantasy 13.
Damn it.
You piece of shit.
I liked it. I liked Final Fantasy 13. Fuck that.
No, that is incorrect.
No, I know. I understand. I understand why everyone had the problems with Final Fantasy 13, but for whatever reason, like the time that I played it, the battle system, like I was all about it. Like it was so fucking quick, and it was kept me on my toes more than any Final Fantasy battle system that I played before. But that's
the combat system in 13 is actually one of its most notable features. It definitely does keep you on your toes. Yet the paradigm shifting is awesome.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that kind of did it for me, to be honest with you. I know it's linear and the story is all Japanese as hell, but again, like, I'm kind of into that. I'm into like the Japanese thing once in a great while, and the combat kept me going. But
so I don't want to like tumble too far down that rabbit hole, but so I'm like literally, I think I'm on chapter 12 of that game, and I stopped. Does it get better?
No, still bad.
Does the story end on any kind of a significant note?
No, it gets fucking crazy, and I didn't really I had to like read the wiki over and over to even understand what the fuck was going on. But like I said, that it's just the combat system did it for me, you know. But no, for someone like you, like if that combat system didn't drive you to get to the end, don't bother. You know what I mean? It's not going to do anything for you for sure.
It does have amazing battle music though.
Yeah.
For Final Fantasy 13.
The thing is, everything in that game I actually really... The fucking shitty thing is that if I want to, like... I have... Since 7, there's not been a Final Fantasy game that I have not completed, like a core Final Fantasy game. I played 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I played like 20 hours of 11. So I feel like shit not finishing this game, not giving it the benefit of the doubt, and at least seeing it through to the end, so I can at least say, yes, this is definitely my least favorite Final Fantasy of all time.
You should feel bad, feel real bad.
But if I wanted to go back, if I wanted to finish this game, even though I'm on chapter 12 of 13, I'm pretty sure I would have, according to Nolan at least, I would have to start the whole game over again, because somehow I fucked myself.
I don't.
Like I'm at a point where I can't grind and I can't proceed.
Oh yeah.
Did you skull fuck yourself? Is that what happened?
Oh fuck myself.
That's amazing.
Theoretically, Nick, you should be able to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough. Like I understand what he's talking about because I've been put in that position where I left the game sitting for like weeks. then I come back to it, and I don't have the paradigm shifting down like you should, because the thing about Final Fantasy's combat system was you can force yourself to attack. You don't have to wait. So you have to manage those segments also, so that you swing the tempo of everything to land exactly when you want to. And sometimes you should be able, theoretically, you should be able to go backwards. It might be tough, but I think you can squeeze your way back. And then once you make it back, you could probably get back to the hub world. You know what I mean? And go grind at the hub world. So, but you definitely have to grind. I found myself grinding to get through
Like,
30.
Like I like Lightning as a character. Unfortunately, I don't really care for any of the other characters in that game.
It's funny you should say that, because Lightning was actually the one thing that put me off Final Fantasy 13. I gave up halfway through, and I think the thing I liked about it the least was just the fact that Lightning was such an unlikable character.
Lightning was
So,
I mean, out of all the characters in that game, Lightning was the most unlikable character to you?
Well, the young red-haired girl was probably more irritating, but I mean, what did you like about the Lightning character?
I don't know. I like dark, fucked up shit, and she seemed pretty fucked up.
You know what? And I'm with you, Nick. I felt like the reason I liked Lightning as a character was because like I feel sympathy for her character. She reminds me of one of them chicks that protect is like she has a shell, but you know deep down inside she's soft and you want to care for her, but her exterior is so hard. She just acts like she's too good for it. You know.
You want to just crack open that shell?
Crack open that shell. Just get it in. You know what I'm saying?
No, I liked Lightning's motivations.
Okay.
I liked her as like visually, as like aesthetically. I liked her like design as a character. I think her design is far superior to just about every other character in that game. I did like Zaz. Zaz? Is that his name? Zaz? The
Fro dude?
yes, the Fro dude with the chocobo in his hair. Yes, I liked him. He was pretty cool. But that little boy, I don't even remember that kid's name.
Hope.
Yes, Hope. Fuck Hope. Fuck it.
Oh, Hope gets cool though. Hope gets some balls later.
Yeah, late.
They find them finally.
I'm 12 chapters in. He still doesn't.
No. He was supposed to already get his balls by then. He didn't get that big of a ball, so
They drop finally. It's like ting ting.
God damn. I think I'm gonna have to go back and finish 13 because of this conversation.
No, dude, listen. I beat 7. I got too cool for school, so I didn't really play video games for 8, 9, or 10. So I came in, and I'd never played a 12, Final Fantasy 12. So I kind of went from 7 to 13.
And you still haven't played 8, 9, or 10?
They're pretty good.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I want to maybe do it on a stream or something cool, like eventually, because that gives me motivation. Like I feel like the stream would give me motivation to like finish some games.
Just do not play 10-2. It does not exist.
Hey.
Don't ever play 10-2.
Hey. I know
we don't talk about it.
I know
we don't talk about 10-2.
10-2 had a fantastic battle system.
No.
Can I go back to my video games now that Final Fantasy minute?
Yep.
I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna leave it at that because I know y'all hated 10-2.
Yes.
How did we start talking about Final Fantasy? What the fuck were we talking about?
this.
Risen.
Oh yeah, it's Risen 2, wasn't it?
Risen 2. So kind of a janky Deep Silver game to be expected. I mean, Deep Silver, they published Dead Island, didn't they?
Yeah, and
that game was also kind of janky.
Yeah, Dead Island was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
If Joseph was here, he would defend it to the death. But
that was real good sarcasm. The second I actually believed you. That's another game.
I'd like to flag out that was sarcasm. I actually absolutely hate Dead Island. Please nobody think that I actually like that game, because it's fucking terrible.
Aw. I think that game had some redeeming qualities to it. Not a whole lot.
What redeeming qualities?
One of the few games. The atmosphere in that game is fantastic, in my opinion.
I disagree.
Well, it's a good thing you're all the way in the UK, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Something about the. I've always been a big fan of like the tropical island vibe, and it was really cool to see that juxtaposition of like the tropical feel with the zombie apocalypse thing going on. Oh, sorry. Google Hangout decided to make sure I was still
Okay, I'll go through and I'll start telling people.
Wait, what?
I think Jeffrey just got it.
Yeah, I did.
We're good.
What?
Just keep going. Risen 2.
Risen 2. Someone talk about.
Yeah, so Pirates, fuck that game. Um, um, it's cool, but it'll be lucky to continue past my 8 hour thing, dude. My girl got me Xenoblade Chronicles for my birthday,
Nice.
and I started it. I saw a lot of cool things that I didn't expect to see, like in a Japanese RPG. So I'm kind of digging that, but I don't have time to start it because it looks like one of those games that once you start, you can't really
Dude, that game.
stop.
That game is. I have heard of people playing this game like who are just playing it for like the story, who have spent 80 to 90 hours in that game.
Really?
So that's like I have the game. I like it aesthetically and it's very aesthetically pleasing and mechanically pleasing in my opinion. But goddamn, I know like 80 hours is ahead of me of gameplay, and I'm just like I can't do that. I won't touch anything else, and I don't think people want to hear me talk about Xenoblade for 4 months.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot eventually. That system where you have like relationships and you have that big tree through every fucking town, like that thing wicked intrigued me to like walk around and like just randomly talk to NPCs because of the system, which is something that I think like doesn't get driven enough in a lot of like Western RPGs, right? Because we the only reason we talk to NPCs is when they're gonna give us a quest or they're part of a quest or that we buy something from them
Yeah.
traditionally. You know what I mean? So that kind of intrigued me, and the combat system seems kind of cool. But I'm gonna give it a shot and eventually and see what happens from there. And then other than that, I've been playing a lot of iOS stuff, obviously because I'm gonna be covering a lot of iOS stuff for the site. Nothing in particular right now that I want to talk about. And then Res HD, first time I bought that. Out of
I love Res.
George just
Yeah.
got excited. Back
It's
here,
one of,
he's like,
like a dog that's had this ears just prick up. She said Res. I love
Yeah.
that game. I absolutely love it.
Well, I'm a musician, so I totally like everything about it. I'm with, you know what I mean? And I beat it like in one sitting. I went through the whole thing, and I understand now. Like after beating it, like the last level, Area 5, like it all makes sense to why that game has such critical acclaim. Like how do you turn a music, a music shooter or quasi music shooter into something meaningful and like something that has something to say? I'm big on that shit. Like I've always been big on like messages, that aren't that are deeper than skin.
I totally agree, and I did like the spiritual sequel, Child of Eden, but I don't think that game had quite the same sense of as you say, having like a message. It was fun, but it was more kind of bubblegum pop, where Res has had more of a bite to it.
Yeah, do
yeah,
you want to? Well,
very much focus on the psychedelic visuals to kind of like sell
Yeah.
it.
do you want to know something sad? Is I have played and beaten Child of Eden, but not have played Res.
Dude, play that shit, dude.
It should be the
It's
opposite.
it's awesome. It's brilliant. Like at first, it comes across as this just the shooter game. It's gonna be short. It's just like an arcade game that you're gonna pick up and play. And then at first it is that, and then when you finally realize everything at the end in the last area, like everything from that point backward makes sense
Yeah.
more than it did before. And then that was really cool, and I finally broke down and started Beyond Good and Evil HD, which again another shame that I haven't ever played that. I wasn't
Man,
playing
I
games like
actually played
that.
that fairly recently for the first time, probably in the last year or two.
Yeah,
That game's great.
That's a lot
It
of
does
fun.
have. By the time it's over, though, you will get the sense that this game was never finished in the way that it was meant to be.
Yeah, I like played a big I sat down for one good like game session, and then I checked the game fact just to see how far I was through chapters, and I was like, wow, I'm almost done. Like
Pretty
apparently
short.
it's short.
Yeah.
It's really short.
It's only about like
short.
6-7 hours total.
Yeah, something
Unless you
like
do
that.
a lot of the side stuff and try to get all the discs. Is that right thing? I can't remember. It's been years since I played it.
There's one like dungeon or area that you can go to that's completely optional or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but that was supposedly supposed to be like a major portion of the game that they completely removed or changed its like adjusted its significance at some point in development. I don't know why. It really sucks because that game has some awesome has an awesome feel to it, awesome atmosphere. The characters are great. They're likable, and that's a terrible noise, whatever that was.
It was George. So George, I've got to ask you, what are you drinking out of?
It's actually just a shot measure. I don't have a shot glass, so I'm just.
Because I saw this, I saw this the last show you're on. You're drinking out of this tiny ass glass. I didn't know what the hell you were drinking out of. Like that's it.
It's a plastic shot measure. I keep meaning to go out and buy a shot glass, but I never get around to it.
It looks like a medicine.
Yeah, like
bottle.
It does.
I thought you
should be drinking.
He's just popping pills throughout the show. Boom.
Is it just straight up alcohol, or are you doing the lemonade, the Tom?
Yeah, no, I've got a can of 7-Up and a bottle of Gordon's gin, so I'm just finishing it off.
Gotcha. So you're mixing it in the little shot glass. You're making like 15 of these.
I shouldn't be doing this. It's like 5:45 in the morning.
Do you have work tomorrow, or I guess today?
No, I don't. Thankfully,
okay, good.
This is the slippery road of the alcoholic. I think. Breakfast. What is it?
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I ended up not going to bed until like 6 in the morning last night too. So
to watch the sun come up, that's always the best.
Dude, I as soon as I start to see that sun peeking up over the horizon, I'm like, I gotta fall asleep now, or it's not happening.
Yeah, I feel that's the worst. Like I've when I did my stint in Japan, we would go to the bars don't close. Like I guess they close at like 7 or 8 in the morning. So you would get out of the bar.
Where it's magical?
Japan. So you go into a bar at like 2 a.m. You're like, it's 2 a.m. I'm only gonna stay here for an hour. You look at your watch, and it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and you're like, fuck, I gotta get home. Because you were just so trashed at this point. And so we had these little bicycles that we had. We didn't have cars, because like, bicycles are the easiest way to get around this tiny-ass town. And we'd hop on our bikes. The sun's like just over the hill. Like you can see it's the sky's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. We'd wheel our little bicycles like riding down the street, just completely fucked up, like weaving back and forth. Like these big ass gaijin or these foreigners riding on these tiny ass little Japanese bikes, like just swerving around in the Japanese streets, like going the wrong direction down the wrong street, on the wrong side of the road, and it was just horrible. Like the worst feeling ever. Like you crawl into bed and the sun's like rising up over the mountains, and like the birds are chirping. Like fuck, I gotta go to bed. I can't do this. I'm gonna be so hungover the next day.
It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah,
it really is.
Oh fuck.
By the way, I found our next word or term.
Oh god, what is it?
I've never heard of this one before. So this is a new thing. This is called the glass bottom boat. Has anyone heard of this?
No. Yes.
Prepare yourself.
Well, okay. I know. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, okay. A made-up sexual maneuver in which a person places saran wrap on their face and another person defecates on the saran wrap.
So why
glass bottom boat?
Why use saran wrap?
Fuck if I know.
There's people that don't use it. What is that called?
Yeah, that's
no bottom boat. I mean, what?
It's funny. I'm looking through this list of the 100 most offensive slang words, and as you get farther down the list, because they're like prioritized based on the percentage of people who found it offensive, and as you get down towards the bottom, they start to get less and less original.
Yeah.
Like you start seeing words like motherfucker.
Yeah.
And pet one's kitty. What the hell is that? Man, I don't know. This list is weird. pet one's kitty is to masturbate. That's weird. So I'm gonna keep looking. I'll find another one here in a second. Wait, what are you drinking? That's not Cisco.
What?
It's Arizona.
It's a.
What are you Are you cheating on Cisco?
No, I'm not cheating on Cisco. I'm mixing the two. We decided that we wanted a party. I'm drinking Grapeade, which doesn't taste like grape.
I think we should put the intro to this episode of Cocktail Time. The intro music should actually be Cisco's thong song.
The thong.
Just putting that out there. It would be fitting.
It's warming up. It's getting worse as it gets warmer, because it's like 18%.
Yeah, sounds.
Oh man, have you had Cisco before, Jeff?
Yeah, it's like Mad Dog.
Yeah, I actually I went to the liquor store. I bought two things: Cisco and Mad Dog.
Dude, you know what that is? That's me when I was illegally having alcohol bought for me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't buy it, so I needed to have one bottle to take me out for the night. You know what I mean?
The bottle I have is big. It's about like it's like a big handle of alcohol. $2 for the entire thing.
Oh.
It's dirt cheap.
Oh.
That shit'll knock a bum right out.
Oh yeah. There's a reason why these are called bum wines. Is because like you get drunk for cheap.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people like drinking a full thing of Cisco, losing their fucking minds, pissing all over themselves, and passing out.
And then eating a person.
And eating another person. No, it's bath salts. Or is it Cisco? I can't remember. No,
what if that turned out to be Cisco?
Yeah, what are you kids doing these days?
It's gonna make for a fucking interesting feed, is what that is.
Yes, it is. Hey, George, you said you've been playing some other stuff too.
Yeah.
What
else have I been playing? I have picked up Quantum Conundrum.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna pick that up.
Played a few hours of that. It's pretty good. I think the shadow of Portal hangs over it, which is a shame because I think once you get over the sense that it's not as good as Portal, then it kind of becomes its own game a bit more. People keep telling me that I'm going to run into some frustrating first-person platforming sections, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But
Man, you are of sarcasm, George.
Yeah.
He's British. What do you expect?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a very British.
The dry
British
humor.
Thing, sarcasm. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And what else have I been? Oh yeah, I've played a few hours of Inversion as well.
Oh,
Ooh.
I've heard not so good things about that game.
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anybody anywhere talk about this.
It's just it's a kind of it's Gears of War basically, but not as good. And it has this one gimmick where you can fire kind of anti-gravity enemies, and then they sort of float up. And the whole game is supposed to be based around the idea that it's all like zero gravity and things like that, but it never really sort of develops it into anything interesting, or it hasn't so far.
It looks very generic, and I walked by that booth at E3 like a dozen times. Like, maybe I should play that, but I never did. So I don't know.
Yeah.
To say that it's Gears of War but not as good. I don't even like Gears of War that much, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you don't like Gears of War, you're not going to like this.
Okay. Good. I will pass on that one then.
It's good to know.
So what else have you been playing? Anything else on the list?
And the one other thing I've been playing is Quarrel. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
It's it's like a between Risk and Scrabble. Basically, you have
platform.
Everything.
Sorry.
Everything.
What platform is it on?
Oh, Xbox Live, and I think it's on like iOS and things like that, but I'm not sure. But I picked up on Xbox Live for 400 points. It's actually pretty good fun. It might take a while to explain. I don't know. It's like you have these territories, and you have little guys on territories. So it's kind of like Risk or something like that, in that you have to kind of take over the whole territory with your little guys. It's all kind of coded. But to do battle, you go into these time battles where you've got a certain number of words, like a maximum of a certain number of letters, like maximum of 8 letters. So you have to try and make the highest scoring word using the letters, and you have to score higher than your opponent in a time limit, and then the highest scoring person defeats the other person and takes over that territory. I don't know if it probably doesn't sound that exciting, but it's actually, like, for 400 points, it's pretty good fun, and you get a pretty decent single player experience. The one downside is that there's no local multiplayer. You have to play it online if you want to play against other people, which is a real shame, because I think it would be a great party game. Like, if you wanted to invite 4 friends round, it would be really good fun, but unfortunately it doesn't support local multiplayer.
That's weird. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard to implement either.
Well, yeah, I know. I don't understand that.
So it's what, like Risk and Scrabble, is you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the Scrabble component is that each player needs to be able to hide what letters they have.
Oh yeah, you can't see.
Oh,
no, you're both given exactly the same set of letters.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah. So it's more that who can sort of conjure the highest scoring word using those letters.
Yeah.
And then if you both get the same.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you have 4 people, like, what do they do? Like, do they? Because as soon as, like, you're making your word, and then someone else has, like, an amazing word, you go, "Oh yeah, I totally have that one too. I'm just gonna rewrite this word." Like,
oh yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's why.
Yeah, it seems like it would be very difficult to implement.
Okay, game developers, points go to you. Point 1 goes to you. Jesus Christ. What was that? Are you licking your nose?
Yes. I'm looking at my stash.
I love doing that.
Oh, it's so, it feels so good.
I hate doing that. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Has anybody else been playing anything that we haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah.
God damn, I'm so ready for this lull to be over. I want some new shit.
Sleeping Dogs and Darksiders 2.
Yeah. That's what
I already paid off. I'm ready.
When does GTA 5 come
out? You're a funny guy, George. You're a funny guy. GTA 5 come out.
Did they even announce, like, what time it's going to come out? They announced it was going to come out, but
they're even avoiding talking about that in their, like, sale, or their financial meetings and stuff. The ones where we get the transcripts and stuff, they're being very specific in how they word anything having to do with GTA 5, which makes me think that game ain't coming out for probably until sometime late next year or something.
Could it be a launch title for a new console?
Maybe. I don't know. It didn't strike me.
Yeah, the gameplay footage they've had looks current gen.
Seemed pretty current.
Yes. What else have I been playing? I've been playing DayZ during online week. I played a bunch of DayZ, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still enjoying the shit out of that?
It's fun. I mean, with the game, like after a certain point, the game becomes making a game for yourself to play, because once you get all your equipment, you get all that. There's no, like, there's nothing to do. It's like, all right, I survived. I have all the beans I could eat. I have all the ammunition I need. I have a ghillie suit. I have a big backpack. I have a gun.
Now what?
Yeah, it's just.
I guess that is kind of the point. That's kind of the problem, the inherent problem, and like that sounds really great on paper, having a game where it's kind of you build your own experience, but at some point you're going to run out of. It's just going to become like, all right, now surviving isn't difficult anymore.
Yeah.
I had everything I need.
That's why a lot of people turn to bandits.
Yeah.
And they just be like, well, the rest of the game is just me fucking with other people. And that, that's enough for some people.
It's kind of like an endless cycle, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
definitely an interesting experiment in game design.
Oh yeah, certainly. But I know Vunic and Sci-Fi have been playing over this weekend, where they got pretty much. I think they had 2 buses at one point, and they had a bunch of community members on, and I think Vunic or Sci-Fi was casting. Vunic was casting at one point. I don't know if Sci-Fi was casting another one. But then I think they also got a helicopter this morning as well. And they were just running around getting. Like, that's the kind of thing that you need to make for the goals to do for yourself, is like go and find vehicles, and we're just going to go and get a bus and go around and pick up everybody, and we're going to go take care of this bus for a little while, and maybe we'll go fuck with some noobs by driving around the coastline and driving up to them and honking the horn and getting a bunch of zombies on them and then driving away or whatever, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean,
it is a sandbox.
It is. Yeah, it's really for me, like, it's becoming more difficult to find a game there to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless I die and I can start all over again with getting equipment and all that. But then again, I've already been through that process multiple times before, so I'll be able to quickly re-equip myself, and then what?
That is the question.
Yeah, I think if the game allowed, like if they had it so you could fortify structures and start building bases and sort of like kind of creating communities and colonies, that could add a lot more depth to it.
Yeah.
Because that would give you a goal like, oh, we're going to go over here and we're going to build a commune. And we're going to start, trying to pin up a bunch of cows and sheep and whatever. And we're going to start, keeping that as our food source. And we're going to have all this wood. We're going to keep these structures together. We need like turrets to fend off bandits. We need to go out and we need to get parts to be able to build these turrets. We need to go out and get some ammunition for these turrets. We need to be able to get some boards or like scrap metal to like build up these walls. I mean, a little bit. It sounds more and more like a Minecraft or like a Fortnite, which is another title that's very similar to that. I guess there's also War Z or Z War.
Yeah. Isn't that that's like an official like
War Z, the MMO MMO that they're coming out with sometime this year? Is that what they're claiming?
Wait, who's
I heard good things actually.
Yeah, I haven't heard from anyone playing it though.
I heard. Who was it? I don't know if it was Weekend Confirmed podcast or something like that. One of the podcasts I frequently listen to had somebody on that talked about it being in beta or something like that, and he's playing it, and apparently it's very much DayZ, but a few differences. I don't know.
I'm curious. I definitely like what has come out of this little experiment, this DayZ experiment. It's interesting to kind of watch, especially from like an outside. I still haven't played the game, so just watching it from the outside has been interesting. But
yeah, I was gonna say I'm the same way, Nick. I don't really have a PC to play it, but it almost feels like the more I watch feeds of people playing it, the more like I'm losing that like maybe I don't have to play this.
Yeah. It'll certainly reach that point for me where it's like, well, now what am I gonna do? Go get a bus, drive around?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, because so in about a week I move in with Nolan, and we're going to be setting up our broadcasting setup there over the next month or so. But God, the one game that I'm really looking forward to playing now that I'll finally have a PC is the new Amnesia game.
Oh, Machine for Pigs, yeah.
I'm pretty stoked to be able to finally actually be able to play that, and I'll probably be able to play it through to completion because it'll actually be on my PC, which would be nice. So you look for that on the feed. I'll be playing that at some point once it comes out.
I still haven't beaten the first one. It freaks me out too much.
I haven't finished the first one either, but that's definitely going to be on my list once we get our broadcast set up going. So is there any other games we want to mention? Is there anything we can talk about before we wrap this up, or?
The only thing I didn't bring up was I finally finished Borderlands.
Final. That was my game of the year that year.
Just in time for the new one to come out.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's why I played. I was like, fuck it, I might as well play the first one. That way I can wait another 2 years to play the second. It got its hooks. It got its hooks in me, but got its hooks in late. But eventually it got its hooks in me, and I was all about the loot and shit. And now I'm talking about playing it over again. So we'll see. But
I was another really big fan of the like the visual and sound design in that game. I thought that was really great. Especially the sounds of the weapons are really addicting, and the just like the vibe that like the I don't know how to describe it.
Did you play Borderlands 2 demo at PAX?
I did, yes. No, I played it at
E3.
Yeah. Which I liked to play there too. It was a very kind of an enclosed demo. So what I'm most curious about, especially, is because I love Borderlands 1, but it wasn't quite as open as I thought it was going to be when going into it. So I'm curious to see if they're sticking with like an open world game design with this game, or if this is going to be more of like structured like levels which is kind of what it made it feel like in the demo, because there wasn't any like open world areas to explore. Really, it was just like a giant facility that we were exploring. And I don't know. I'm hoping that the game is actually far more interconnected and open than the first one. But,
Yeah, because my demo at PAX East was like this. It was like a lot of purple, and it was like this cavern or something.
there's
And,
parts everywhere.
Cavern. I think
Yeah.
I was playing in a swamp at PAX East.
Yeah.
Is that the right one? The swampy kind of thing? Yeah.
Cave-like structures and shit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But dude, I played it for like 10 minutes. I was like, "Yep, more Borderlands."
It's
Yeah.
same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely more Borderlands. I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not gonna like write it off because I love Borderlands, but they had to really surprise it because Borderlands 1 was my game of the year. The year it came out, just because that was something that was a style of game that I had never played. Even if it did share similarities with something like Diablo, it was the first like super loot driven game, and not to mention it played and controlled a lot like a a Call of Duty or something like that. So it was very familiar in that sense. But even though that was my game of the year, if it's more of the same, they're gonna have to really try or really do something surprising to get its way onto my top 10 list this year. Because there's a lot of competition this year, and just putting more of the same Borderlands in there is gonna be cool. I'll definitely enjoy playing it, but man.
Is anyone gonna play that Persona 4 fighting game Arena?
Brad's gonna play it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it too. Do you know he's playing it on 360?
That I don't know.
Oh.
You would have to verify with him. But yeah, he's definitely gonna play it.
So it's
Yeah,
interesting
I think
if
I'm
you
gonna play
just
it.
going back to Borderlands for a second. The first Borderlands was another game that I gave up on pretty quickly, so maybe I should go back to it. But I really liked how it started out, but it became such a grind for me.
Yeah,
it just seemed like hours and hours of shooting dogs with crappy weapons for ages. So I guess better later on I might go back to it.
Yeah.
Because I heard
the thing is, I
it's
love
definitely.
the guns, and I love the feeling of shooting the guns, and I guess that was enough to keep me invested. Which I understand it's not going to be enough for a lot of people. So
Yeah, it's throughout the entire game. It's shooting something, maybe not skags, but it's pretty much shooting a ton of other stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So don't look to dive into Borderlands and expect like the story to drive you. You know what I mean? It's the loot hooks have to stop. If they don't, then you won't have fun.
I will say like the story isn't anything like crazy. It's not great or anything, especially when you get towards the end in that super anticlimactic finale, which is kind of dumb. But just the lore in general of that universe they created was really well done in my opinion, and I think there's still plenty of potential for them to flesh out that universe in a really interesting way because the foundation is there. I definitely think it's there, but man, they just dropped the ball on the story they were trying to tell. Which in Borderlands 2, they have different writers that going in. I know Mikey is from Gearbox is writing it with can't remember his name all of a sudden. Shit. Whatever. There's two writers, and they're both fairly well known for their writing skills. So I'm interested to see how it's gonna differ. But only time will tell. That game comes out in what is it? September? October?
Soon. I think it's September.
Soon. It's soon.
It's already on sale on Steam. They're doing pre-orders for it, so it's damn soon. I think.
Yeah, I think it's September. So I don't know. I'm excited. Is there anything else y'all want to discuss before we close out the night?
Give me a word, Nick.
Give you a word.
Give me a word.
I was hoping you'd say that, and the word is rusty trombone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of this one.
You heard, everybody else? Jeff, you heard of the rusty trombone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I should find something else then.
That's a pretty good one.
The sexual practice where someone gives a male a hand job while licking his anus. They're not using these in sentences anymore. Okay, that one. The sentences is the best part. Let me see what else I can find in this list. There's all sorts of weird things in this list. Like one I saw was, let's see, here we go. The Cleveland Steamers on here, by the way.
Yeah.
Fist fuck. I don't need to click on that one to know what that is. The hairy axe wound is on here.
What's that?
Also, I don't. No, I'm not gonna click that.
No, do it. You have to do it now. You're obligated to do it.
Come on. I think my tab's about to die, so it's loading a little bit slower than usual. There's one cock snot is on here. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's boring. A hairy axe wound is a vulva, apparently. That's all it says. A vulva. I don't know. I think we might have gotten through some of the better ones. Finger hut. All right. I'm going to try this one, and if it's not good, it's not good. We're going to move on. God damn it, it's just a vagina. Okay. It literally just says vagina. Yeah.
So just vaginas won't do anymore. You need something that's a little more exciting.
Yes, exactly. And I think I read all the really good ones earlier. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it there. Is anybody else have anything else they want to chime in on before we wrap it up?
No? I guess PAX Prime is coming up. We're going to get workout details on the community meetup. So you'll want to be looking at the main site for that at some point, sometime soon.
What's something up this week? We're having our PAX meeting probably tomorrow, and anything we don't get started tomorrow, we'll finalize on Wednesday. So probably Thursday or Friday, you can expect to see something on the site about our PAX meetup and our plans for coverage and all that stuff. So keep your eyes on the site. It's 4playerpodcast.com. You can find us all on Twitter, right? Everybody here has a Twitter.
Oh,
George,
yeah.
I don't follow you yet, George. I should follow you.
I think you do. I'm sure you do.
Well, maybe I do. I just haven't been on Twitter lately. I can't.
I follow you, so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right, you're right. I do. I lied. I totally lied. You can find all of our Twitter handles on the site, but just in case you're listening and you want to follow us now, mine is at NickH0630. Bob, would you like to say yours?
Mine is Shifting Bits, as in shifting. Shifting bits. Yeah. Sounds kind of naughty. It's not.
It's not?
Nah.
Where did it come from? What is shifting bits?
It's a programming term. You bit shift.
Fucking nerd. Jeff, what is your Twitter handle?
I'm Quality Beats 84.
Quality Beats 84. And George, what is your Twitter handle?
Denison1.
Yes, I am following you, and yes, I knew. I just couldn't. Okay, cool. So, and you can also follow the site in general at 4Player Podcast on Twitter as well. So, don't forget to watch us live every night. It's 4pp.tv. You can watch us broadcast games and record our shows throughout the week. And you can find all of our coverage in between shows on the site at 4playerpodcast.com. That's a rat on your shoulder, Bob.
Yes, it is. You can also become a subscriber to our 4PP TV or Twitch channel, which will get rid of ads for you, and it'll get us money to help run the site.
Yes, which is very helpful. Money is helpful. Who knew? So, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it out. Hopefully, Joseph will be back next week for cocktail time. But seriously, fuck him for not being here today.
Seriously.
Jeff, thank you for coming out. Really appreciate you being on. George, thank you for staying up till fucking 6 in the morning to be on this podcast.
It's okay.
And oh yeah, Jeff, thanks for skull fucking that skull.
Yes.
That was great.
It's a little bit of encore for the skull fuck.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on.
Shamed myself. All right.
This time without pants.
Thanks
Lovely.
everybody for listening. We'll be back next week with more cocktail time. And yeah, that's about it. Bye.
Ludicrous speed! Go!